hope you can hear me and you can see me. I'm just going to double check on other devices. And we're going to have our fun little creative session. So, creative session. Okay. Hello, everybody. I think everything is working correctly. So it's good to see you here. We are up for a very relaxed and fun and I guess cute session of making a gingerbread village. So I have to say, this is another live stream inspired by liquid acrylic paints. And today we're going to work with the Precious set, which is pink quartz, very nice and cold shade of pink. Then we've got coral, and finally malachite green. This is blue-green tone, which is really, really cool. And this set is going to be inspiration for our gingerbread village. I will show you the mood board in a moment. It was posted a couple of days ago, so you can see how it all works. And of course, in my project, I want to include these paints and these colors. So, as you can imagine, it is a challenge. I'm not great in cute projects. It is not easy for me to work with the colors that are so candy and cookies inspired. So I came with the concept of the gingerbread houses. I came with this idea some time ago, and I tried to look for the blanks I can use, and I just guess any kind of little houses will work as well. Wooden or tree board, it doesn't matter. These are the set I found somewhere on Amazon, and they are, I think, just simple plain wood that was joined together to create these little houses in different shapes. So I got this, and sometime before I got these planks of wood as well. These are the real wood slabs, and I was thinking it's going to be nice combination. I was planning to use these as a background for my collage, but I think it's going to be a nice base to put our gingerbread village in place. On the top of that, I got yes. I've got this old tea light holder, so I was thinking my gingerbread village will also have a space for the tea light. So it may be really nice decoration for the winter, and yeah, it will be something that is going to look rather cute. I'm going to use some paste and gels to add special effect. Of course, we need to let it dry well, because if we want to make some imitations of snow on the top of the houses, we need to get something fluffy and quite packed on the top. So that is going to dry a little bit longer. This will be the last step. So we have a plan. We're going to use the paints. We're going to use the houses. I also have some other materials that may be fun. So my usual winter decoration supplies, I've got some berries. They may be nice as a extra add-on. I've got some large pine cones. Well, large, small pine cones, but large for the village. I've got some pine cones. They may be nice for filling the spaces in between. I have some chipboard circles. They may be imitation of the little slabs of wood. I have some decorative wood chips of different kinds. I just figured that may be a nice add-on to the village. Then I've got chunky glitter. This is the same glitter I've got in my sets called Winter. That is the thing. I've got some glittery paste. This is crushed ice effect paste from Art Extravagance line from Prima Marketing. I made it some time ago. It's really nice imitation of the sparkly ice. And then I've got some extras. For example, for the fluffy snow, I have paper texture paste that will be perfect to create the fluffy snow in some parts of the project. It really looks like snow. So that's going to be fun. But I also have some secret weapons. I've got pebbles. And to get the gingerbread vibe going, I also have some extra gold and white detail paints. I'm not sure how you call them officially, like contour paints, contour liners. So that is going to be a bit of fun. And I have to say, I started preparing and experimenting a little bit in advance to see what is going to work. And I discovered some things, and I will tell you all about that during the process. So first, let me say, hello to everybody. And we are going to start because it is really fun project to work on. Hello, everybody. I hope you're going to enjoy. My name is Finnabair. This is my studio. And today we're going to work on Gingerbread Village. It's not a heavy mixed media project. It is not something that is based on very sophisticated techniques. There will be some ideas how to include mixed media products into home decor object. Last month we were working with the sentimental set of liquid acrylics, and we were doing a collage. So this month, instead of the collage, I was thinking it's a perfect excuse to make some home decor because mixed media products work really well used on the home decor objects. They are very good quality products to add extra touches and to get special effects on the top of your elements. Especially for the winter, we like to have sparkly effects. So it's good to know how you can stick your glitters on, what will be the nice quality pastes to include in the project. I've got a good selection of the sparkly effect paste. Going with our color palette, we could possibly include also the Phoenix effect paste because it really works nicely with our paints. But it's more of the pink, and it's going to be very pink project today. So I will really need a couple of cups of tea to go through that without getting a little bit overpowered with the sweetness. So let's hope it's going to work. Let's see who is here. I can see my patrons. Wonderful. I can see Anita, Chrissy, Jules. Oh, Linda. Hello, Kilaya. Nice to see you. Then we have Natalie. Thank you very much. Then there is Sam and Elizabeth. Good to see you. And Lorena from Peru. Good to see you as well. So there was a question, I think Chrissy asked the contour paints. The ones I was able to get, I've got some from PBO, which is French brand. I've got something from Amsterdam, which is obviously the brand from the Netherlands. My hair is not so new. It's just changing the color with every wash. I am silently transforming into peacock color now. I will add more blue later on. So I've got from PBO, but I think as long as they're going to be multi-surface, these contour paints, they're going to work. I have to say, the metallic ones I've got, the ones I've got from PBO, the gold and silver, I like the way it goes more than the white. The white dries longer, but maybe this is just me being clumsy because I'm not really a precise person. Please share the link to the houses. Yes, I will do that just after after the live stream, because now I'm on my mobile device and I can't really get the link for you quickly. Stamperia probably has something. This one is the only one I have, and it's pink. It's from Pentart. This one goes really nicely as well. This one is glittery. These are more like metallic. This is more glittery. I like that. Yes, like I was thinking if for the gingerbread look, this is going to be rather nice. And I have to say, I made some trials. I had to check how to make this work. So it's not going to be super ugly, because I had a suspicion that if you're going to go with the brown color together with these colors, it may be a little bit too much. So that is also true. I tried with some paints and it didn't work really well, and I decided I'm going to go for like fully covered with ice sugar look instead of visible gingerbread, because it didn't really go nicely the way I wanted. Oh, I do make ugly things, believe me. Some of these houses, they were absolutely not a good way. And I will tell you why. Later on, I will tell you why I think these techniques are going to work better, mostly because of the size of the houses. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think in general for the contour liners, most of the art brands have them because they are popular for glass painting and making like the relief effect on the paintings. So it is not really a new product. I know these products for 30 years probably. I know they are on the market. Pentart, the only one I had from Pentart was pink and it works really well. And yeah, I said the PBO I really like. I'm not so sure about the white one from Amsterdam, but maybe user malfunction, to be honest. I am not great in using these, but let me show you some of the results, right? So little cute details. Yeah, for making pearls, bubbles, and so on, yes. I'm sure you could do something similar with Ranger Perfect Pearls. That is probably very good option. There is something from Tonic. I don't remember the name, but it has very cute bottle. So anything that is going to give you this look. So I made gingerbread houses already. Yes, they are super sweet. They are like super, super sweet. So I used my paints as a base and then I added details on the top, and I'm of course going to show you how I did it. And then I still have to do some of the houses. So you will see all the steps, things step by step. Of course, we are missing the snow on the top and we need to build the whole village. So what I'm going to do, I will start with the base. I will add some basic color for the snow. So it's going to be snowy village. And then in the meantime, when this is drying, we will make some houses. Of course, there is a challenge of making that double-sided. So keep that in mind. Because once you paint one side, the other one has to dry. So it is a bit of a challenge. Luckily, these contour paints didn't dry too long. So this is also a good thing. I was trying to create like the icing decoration. So it is like the thing that you would do on the real gingerbreads. It's like freehand painting effect. So this way. Viva Decor paper pen. I probably think it's going to work. These are things, it has to be dimensional. It has to be possible to make these lines to outline your windows or add details to the effects. Yes, if you have a good glue bottle, you can squeeze some of the paints out. So, this is just a matter of the right way of using the things. Metallic paints, as Carol here suggested, you can transfer them into a bottle and try to squeeze them out. So there is a lot of option on the market and a lot of ideas on how to create the icing detail effect. So that is something that you may do using Perfect Pearls, liquid pearls, contour paints. You can do that with the, squeezing that out of a container, but of course try first because it requires a more of like a smooth hand movement. So it's good to try before you're going to put it directly on the project, because I tried and it's not always so easy. So let's have a look at our village. As I told you, I found this tea light holder thingy I'm planning to add to my project as well. So later on, I'm able to put a candle in my composition, so it's going to look really, really nice. Yes, I totally agree. Liquid pearls. Yes, liquid pearls, not perfect pearls. I think I had some somewhere at home, but they were so old that in the end I had to say goodbye to them. I am not very much into paints like that. I don't use them a lot, so they didn't really survive. Okay. The small details should be easy. Perfect. I'm not good at small details, but I managed quite well, I guess. So let me show you what is the plan. Well, we are not looking at my ceiling, we're looking at my table. So what we've got here, as I said, there's selection of different things. I have something to build the village. So I was trying to get some elements that would be winter matching, like winter theme matching. I've got some of the houses. These are from a German company called Reiher. Reiher has a lot of blanks for crafts, and I got them on Amazon UK, but I'm sure you can get it on French or German Amazon easily as well. I'm not sure for the UK, but sorry, US, but you may have really good other elements. Also, MDF is going to work really well. So if you have MDF instead of that, I guess that is going to be a rather cute solution. So this is it. This set I got has quite a lot of these houses. It was around 20 euro, so about $25, but you get a lot of houses in there, right? Unfortunately, I don't have any MDF houses, but you can see this is like quite possible to use this one as well. Just a little bit extra support for mentioning that. Did you buy the pine cones or got them from the countryside? We don't have these trees here that much, so I got them, but you can collect them in the countryside easily. So I would guess if you have these kind of trees that will have these cute cones of different kinds, you should just collect them and dry them well. And then you have perfect elements for your crafts for free. So this is a lovely solution. This is really a lot. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm planning to use, of course, these 3, and I was thinking maybe, we need to do some planning here. Like, because the other ones I'm planning to use for something else, but there was a set, so I got all of them. My slab of wood is not that large, right? So just to give you the idea, you can see my hand, it's about like 25 centimeters, so 10 inches. Yeah, so it's like 24 centimeters. That equals to like, 9 inches, sorry. And 9 inches by 8 inches here. Well, 7.5. So not super big. I got it from Amazon as well. You really can find a lot of supplies in the local craft stores or online if you're looking for something. So I was thinking it would be great for collage, especially for the nature-inspired collage. I think I got 3 slabs like that in a package. So I still have some, right? I guess it's really, really pretty. So we need to plan how many of these houses we can really fit together with my tea light. And to make this composition work, we have to think about proper planning. So the bigger houses, they need to be a little bit more in the back, and then the smaller houses in the front. So then we can see all of the composition all together. And we need some spaces for the trees, because, of course, we need some trees in our gingerbread village. I think all of you know the bottle brush Christmas trees. They're going to be really nice add-on to the village as well. And I got them in multiple colors. And by accident, one of them is almost like my coral paint. Perfect. So we've got something that goes very nice with the malachite paint. We've got some neutral colors as well. And then I've got some pink. So we have some extras we can use for filling the space. I almost forgot the mood board. My iPad is going to help. Come on. my mood board for this. Come on, cooperate, please. No. This is the mood board that was created for that month. So what I saw, it was totally like the Christmas tree, and then this beautiful packaging and glitter, and then look at that. It's perfect little tray with the animals, and there are some Christmas trees there as well. So we're kind of inspired by this. We are going to make a tray, in this case a slab, and then we're going to put some trees, and then we're going to put our houses in. So that is going to be the inspiration for the gingerbread village. So that is going to be our part of a plan. What is not a surprise, we need to prepare the background first and pick the houses we would like to use. So we have 2 big houses and medium, and then I'm going to look for the other ones that are going to fit nicely. I was thinking maybe this one. Okay, these will be going in the back. Right, so let's create the effect. I don't want this to look like it is on the display. And we need to make a little park as well. So if we need to leave some space, I think this is maximum we can fit, maybe one more. But the reality is we also have to fit the other elements. We would like to add some other things. So yeah, this is like probably maximum or even too much. So I've got 3 of them done. We can do 2 or 3 more, like 3 more maximum. And then we can add the houses. I will try to show you the idea. Yeah, just ignore my mess on the table. Okay, it was almost okay. It's not a perfect plan, but something like that. Maybe. So we have some, okay, yes, we have some in the back and some in the front. That's it. Okay. So when we prepare the houses, we can first start with the slab of wood, and then we were going to paint and add the details, and then we're going to put it all together. So first of all, a bit of painting. To make the snow, we can start with the white impasto. And I almost forgot, I have also very cool idea. If we need extra decoration, I've got these straws that they can be cut and add some extra little poles in the gingerbread village as well. A bardzo się cieszę, że są tutaj dziewczyny z Polski, bardzo mi miło, polecam się. Jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to proszę dawać znać. Okay, so I'm starting with just kind of brushing the white paint on the top. And of course, I'm starting in the middle, and then I will be brushing about a bit of that snow on the outside. So we have a nice backdrop. Then we'll put it on the side to dry, and then we can focus on the houses. Yeah, see, if you have allergies, absolutely, you have to be careful. I'm lucky not to have any allergies to art supplies. In fact, I don't have many allergies, just some some medication I can't take. And I don't think I have any food allergies at this point. I had when I was a kid, but not anymore. So I'm rather lucky. So as you can see, impasto white paint, the snow white paint gives you rather good coverage. I will brush this on the bark part as well. So kind of looks like snow is there as well. Dziewczyny, naprawdę, jeśli macie jakieś pytania, proszę się nie wstydzić. Ja naprawdę chętnie pomogę. So, we've got first layer done. I will quickly dry and I will see if it gets more transparent or not. Of course, we're going to add some pastes and there will be some things going on, but just to know how it's going to work. Hi, Tammy, good to see you. I'm very happy that you are joining, guys. This is not a very usual project, but the mood board is not usual. The colors of the paints made me do it, so I guess this is a great excuse. So you can see once I start drying, the structure of the wood is a little bit more visible. Not too much. I will put maybe one more layer of the paint in a moment and that should be fine. If you do it with your gesso usually is more transparent than paint. You will surely need 2 layers of gesso, maybe even more if you want super, super white. So that already depends on what product you've got on hand. Okay. Well, this should be fun and that should be really like relaxing and enjoyable project. So don't forget, no matter what happens, try to take it easy. I got really frustrated myself when I started with the chocolate brown impasto on the houses and on the small objects that looked a little bit too sloppy. I didn't like the imperfect finish. I didn't like how the windows were clogging and I didn't really like this very dark color. That's why I changed my concept. I removed the paint. You can see I was fighting with this paint really hard to get it removed because it stuck really well. And after that, I changed the concept and went into pink layers. So I guess this is a good start for us. It's going to be a nice snow village center. That goes for drying. And now we're going to focus on the houses. And maybe you can see I tried to make them more like coral transitioning into pink. So it's going to be more fun. We can try to do something similar in the opposite way as well. So we're going to transition from coral to pink. So they're not going to be all the same. Also, we can transition a little bit from brown to pink, and that is going to make them a bit different. So what you need is a palette and some paints, of course, and wet brush, so it's going to be easier to make that blending. Acrylic paints blend really nicely when they are wet, but once they are dry, they're not so easy to blend anymore. So we have our houses here. We can try to make them look a little bit different to these inspirations I've got here. I didn't add any crystals here yet, but we can always add that later on. Now the palette. You can see I was experimenting on this one and this brown is still not my thing. So this is coral liquid acrylic paint. It's very fluid and nice coral color, like orange pink. Then we have our pink quartz, cold and really pastel color. And then I don't want to put green in here because green next to this pink may be too much. We will have a lot of green Christmas trees. So that should be enough. And we can also add some other elements, some flowers, but let's keep it on the side for now. I can try to make some transition from a brown into pink. That will be a safe combination. So let's see. So now I will take not very big brush. So here we had light on the top and dark on the bottom, and that will be nice solution, of course. Now we can try to do something else. I'm dipping the brush in the water. Let's try with the pink on the bottom. And then coral on the top. Just to make them a bit different, so they're not all the same. You can see you will need more than one layer to make this work, because they are rather transparent paints. And then we put our coral on the top. So I will do it twice. So they're going to blend nicely. You can see how rather easy it is. And then, of course, we can dry it with the heat gun. And then we can continue. So when the paints are wet, it's rather easy to do the blending. Okay, so this one waits for drying. Let's make another one in this way, maybe the bigger one. Yes, I will do front and back, but I have to do it in stages. So I can't do at the same time because they need to dry. So I will repeat the same thing on the back as well. So let's say maybe that far. Cleaning the brush. And then coral. So they really look like they're covered in colorful icing sugar. I have to say, I'm not a huge gingerbread house maker. We never really make them at home. We don't even buy them, because for me, like, I'm not a huge fan of the gingerbread in that way. That's why I don't have experience. I studied the looks of the houses online, and they are either just decorated or they are fully covered. So there are many ways of doing that. So I went for full coverage. Nie musimy dawać pod te farby białego jessa tutaj, ponieważ tak naprawdę chcemy pokolorować konkretnie, a to drewno jest takie, że można na nim bezpośrednio dawać, bo jest niczym niepokrywane. To jest takie czyste, żywe drewno. There was a question from one of the girls. I didn't put any gesso before. This is because this is untreated wood. So untreated wood is matte finish. It doesn't really need to be treated with gesso. If I'm using acrylic paint, I can just go directly on the top, and it's going to work nicely. Although, as you can see, I need to put 2 layers of paint. I was thinking about that as well. Should I put the gesso first? But when I was painting these guys, I realized I don't have to. It really worked nicely. So from my experience, it worked pretty okay. So now let's do the gingerbread look. They will have brown bottoms and pink tops. You can see how much darker this paint is. Yeah, when you use them this way, it looks more like a stain. Jeśli się maluje nimi w ten sposób, to wyglądają troszkę bardziej, jakby były bejcą. Oh, I have to be careful not to put too much. Oh. blending with the brown is not the best. I will try to do some coral. Yeah, coral is going to be better. You can see the pastel paints have a little bit of the white undertone, and that shows a bit. But in the end, it's going to be cute anyway. So no worries. Yeah, they have glossy finish. Yes, and they look like they are made out of candy. So okay, let's do the coral. A bit of the blending. And then I'll put one more layer in a moment to fix that. But don't forget, it's going to be covered with snow as well. Okay, quick drying. So we have like multiple styles of the houses. We've got them here just to dry. And then I do the other side. It goes rather quickly. Yes, I'm going to do a little village. Exactly. We're going to have 7 houses in the village. We're going to have trees, some decorations, a lot of glitter, and that's going to be like a decorative tray. So you can see if you like it. Oh, sorry. Oh, if you like it, you can leave it as it is. Now you can see the structure of the wood through the paints because they work like stain. If you want more solid color, like here, you can put one more coat and it's going to work. So it's up to you. I really like different options of the color. Here I want to do more of the blending, so it's going to look a little bit better. You can see these colors, they dry pretty quickly on the wood surface because the wood will absorb the colors as well. So this is how it works. So we do a little bit of the brown on the bottom again. On the other side, cleaning the brush, and coral on the top. That's the other side. We can do a little bit more here. You know, every time when you do something and it's not exactly the way you want it, remember you can always add some layers on the top later on. There will be snow, there will be details made with the contour paint. So worry not. It will all come together nicely in the end. What I want to do though is like I don't like the windows being so light in this brown house, so I'm going to paint them brown. It doesn't matter when you have like light pink, but here I could see them really well, so I'm just adding a little bit of the brown color in the windows. Okay, drying for you. Next one. You can do the pink with turquoise, absolutely. You see, this is the color of the first paint I was trying on. I don't worry about that too much because I'm going to put snow on the roofs of the houses as well. So don't worry. I will need more coral paint. And here we go with the brown. So number 2 is ready for drying. I think this should be enough of the paint. And now we go to this one. We repeat the painting a bit and blend with the pink. You can see this pink is the lightest of them all, so it requires a little bit of extra layers if you want like super coverage. Oh, a bit of brown by accident. But it's not about being perfect here, really. It's more about getting the nice finish. In general, liquid acrylic paints work really well on wood to create the stain effect. So if you have boxes to decorate or you like to create on the wooden panels, you can use your liquid acrylics to keep the structure of the wood visible. I do it quite a lot in different projects because I really like the natural color of the wood as well. They're really cute. Here I need to repeat. A bit more of the pink. So you can see painting the houses is not that time consuming. More details is going to be consuming. So that is going to be always like extra touches. But you don't have to do all of the things in one sitting. You can do the houses and the base on one day, and then you can do the other elements on the second day. It's really up to you. So it doesn't have to be like one day project. I have to say they are rather cute. Stay here. So you can play with this effect as much as you like, really. You can do it darker, lighter. It's up to you, but they have slightly glossy finish if they are covered a little bit more. So this one is ready. This one is ready. This one is almost ready. Nice. So now we are going to prepare the 2 or 3 other elements so we can use them in our project, and the houses will be dry for adding the details on the top. So that will be our important step. We need to work on our Christmas trees a little bit. We need to work on the elements that are going to create the landscape. It's good to have some hot glue because we need to add the elements standing in the position. So that also is going to help. And then we'll decorate it with the paste. So it's going to cover this hot glue as well, so don't worry about that. Okay, almost there. So I put it on the side for drying. We have 7 houses total. Now let's look at other elements we may want to use. So I prepared some elements. I don't have to color the Christmas trees, but I will show you how to do it anyway, because some people like to know. These are really perfectly matching the color of the paint, so I'm lucky. But not always it is possible. Although, I figured I may want to add some other elements. I've got some gears. I was trying to make these peppermint sticks, but painting on the resin wasn't that easy, and then I found the straws. So kind of it is possible to do, but it's messy. Even if you use the gesso to start and then you use the masking tape, it's still not perfect, so maybe not my favorite thing. I made some flowers as well, as you can see, matching my colors. So I'm going to do that. So maybe they're going to be like oversized flowers in this garden. I've got some roses. So this is what I've got. And I've got some pebbles and gears. So let's talk about adding these kind of details to your project. Because when we are waiting for the houses to dry, we may need to prepare some of the elements. I've got some flowers. I have got some Christmas trees, which are in good color, but in case if I don't have them in the good color, let's say I've got the neutral color Christmas trees. Then some small flowers maybe. I was mostly looking for the flowers that will be smaller and easier to paint, so the light colors. So let's say this would be good choices. This is probably too big because I have big ones already. So I have that. And if there's anything else I'd like to color now, probably not. So if I don't have the right color of the Christmas trees, I will try to find some elements I can repaint and to make them work right. So let me do let me check on the comments now. I can see, is there any questions? Where is my paper towel? So, as I said, these are not super sophisticated techniques, but they are useful ways of using the product when you are planning to make something fun. So you know what you can do with that. And let's say we need to repaint the flowers to match our color scheme, right? And we need to repaint the Christmas trees. Oh, that's very good you found the stencils. I'm very happy. Dziękuję, Ania, bardzo mi miło. Oh, if you can't find the paints, we can always ship from Ireland to you if you're in Spain. Gluing ribbon to the resin or stick to make the candy cane. That's a good idea. The ribbon may be a solution. You know, that was like the idea I wanted to get. And I told you, I tried. And I'm not saying this is impossible, but it is kind of annoying. So I'm not a precise person. and I don't want to spend all of my life painting the candy cane. So this is the solution. Hugs to you as well. It was good to have you here. So the easy way how to repaint the flowers is make your sprays. I've got these paints mixed with water, and they are going to be like really a teaspoon of the paint for like almost full bottle. So they're quite saturated. So what you can do now, once you have it ready, make sure the nozzle is clean. You can spray your flowers to create your perfect little ones for the composition. You can even mix the colors nicely. So they're going to have inside a little bit darker than the outside. I can show you how that worked in here. Really nice, I guess. So that is one of the ways. Let's make a little bit more of the flowers in the meantime in different color palettes. Some of them will be orange, some of them will be pink. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them, but I have them. And then the same story we can try to do with our Christmas trees here. Oh, let's make sure this one is spraying. It is not spraying because I clogged it and I forgot to clean it before using. Just a second. Now, the same story. Just a bit of patience and drying, and you can repaint this way because this is acrylic. It's going to dry permanent. So, of course, you may need 2 layers on the Christmas trees, but let me tell you, they are cute. It's really cute color, and it's not as strong in your face as the original ones. So you don't have to put so much of the gesso on the top of them. Just to compare. This is the turquoise straight from the packaging, and this is the one we repainted, the white we repainted. So they are usually not too hard to dry. You can do 2 layers, and then you've got your Christmas trees. I think buying neutral colors of the Christmas trees is a great idea because you can easily repaint them with acrylic paints to make it work. Or if you have Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, or if you have glimmer mists or any other spray bottles, it's going to work. So you don't have to buy different colors, you can make them. Yes, because this paint is concentrated, so you don't have to put a lot of the paint to really make it work. I really like this color, I have to say. I give a little bit more, but it's more subtle than the one from the original packaging. So surely I'm going to use these too. All right, let's put them on the side for drying on the paper towel. Yes, when you make the mists, if you want to have colors, you can just mix your acrylic paints with the water, and you can even add mica powder inside to make shimmering spray. But remember, the problem may be cleaning the nozzle from time to time. So it's better to use the paints that have no extra ingredients in there, not too much filler. They should be liquid paints, so they work better for you. There will be not that much of the clogging. However, if it's a good habit to take this out now, clean it, and then put it back into the spray before you're going to put it away for longer, because, you know, it will dry inside of the nozzle a little bit. So if you want to prevent clogging, you can just clean it after using on that day. So what I did yesterday, well, 2 days ago, I didn't clean my sprayer, and that was the punishment. And now I have to clean it, and then I can work again with that. Or I can just take a new sprayer, but it's a little bit of cheating. But anyway, it will be the best. Once I finish the project, should take the nozzles, just rinse them with water, and that's it. And that will be the easy solution. Now, if you have the trees which are already in good color, similar to the one you want, but it's a little bit too dark, it's probably the easiest to find a bit of gesso or white paint and just brush the gesso on the top. So I take these darker ones and I'm going to pick the best ones. Let's say 3. Pick the best ones, and I'm maybe 4 maximum. And this way I'm going to add paint on the top. So it's going to get lighter in color, and it's good when they are not all the same anyway. So they are going to be different, just like in nature. Yeah, not cleaning the nozzle is the biggest the biggest mistake when you use the sprays made with acrylic paints, but we all do it. Like we are all guilty. So I take a bit of that paint. I try to clean off excess on my paper towel so it's not super wet. Right? And then we just go happily, couple of layers, pretending there's more snow on there. So it's not going to be so intense anymore. So more snowy looks better. This one is a little bit crooked. Something bad happened to the poor tree, but it's okay. They're all a little bit damaged from traveling all the way and being packaged and so on. But we don't really have perfect trees in nature as well. And they are unique, so they are very special. If you would like to use the pine cones with some snow on the top, that also makes sense to paint them the same way. So if you like them as they are, just leave them, but just brushing a little bit of gesso on the top, it's also a nice idea. I usually go for glitter, but you can go with this idea as well. Yeah, real trees are not perfect. I know very well. Today we were going to pick up the Christmas tree on the farm, and some of these trees, they were really special. They are really, really special. I really like the small ones because you can use them for so many projects. Yes, these spray bottles are from Prima. I had them from long, long ago. Now they changed the style to the one with the black handle. Let me show you. Where is my spray bottle? Now they changed them to these ones. So that is the same size of a bottle. It's just different style. Just by the way, if you'd like to make some candy looking pebbles, you can use the same sprays. This is what I was experimenting on. I sprayed the pebbles 2 or 3 times, and this is how they look like. They are not fully covered or perfect, but we can absolutely use them as well if we want to. You can see they kind of are, they look like rock candy, I think. So the same way, I just spray them with the acrylic paints. And this way I made a little bit more of the elements for my village. So the village is coming together nicely. We have a lot of elements ready. We still need to decorate the houses. I think we have enough with this tree, because we still have pink trees I wanted to use. But you can see solutions like that, they really work. It's better to, I really think it's better if you have to spend your money on the brush, bottle brush trees, buy the white ones and then paint them on the colors you want. Because painting them with the spray is so easy. Okay, so these guys are waiting. Just to show you these crystal pebbles, I used some of the diamond pebbles from Prima. And what exactly I did, it was just putting them on the paper towel and spraying just the same way as I did with my flowers. So there's no technique here. It was just putting 2 layers of sprays and drying with a heat gun. Ah, new sprayer. And then it's not perfect painting, but again, it doesn't have to be. Sometimes imperfect things, they make sense. Let them dry, and we can come back to our houses. Have you got any questions on the process so far? Because we are basically just preparing the elements. The houses are back. Yes, throwing away the bottles is painful really, because you can use them so many times. So it's better to be safe and clean them. So design on the houses. So the contour paint is one thing, but I wanted to add something that is going to create the impression of the, like more of the icing and more of like a pattern on them. So they're going to look more cute. And I figured I'm going to just look for some nice designs. And my first idea was to take a stencil and use the paper texture paste through the stencil to add the textures. And my problem was it looked messy. They are so small, then placing a stencil in the straight way without moving it and without making kind of like a sloppy effect, without being a little bit messy, it was very hard to do. It didn't work. So I came with the alternative solution. So instead of using the paste to create the effect and to get designs on, like here I've got the brick wall, and here I've got the polka dots. I used embossing. So for polka dots, I used the stamp like this. For brick wall, I use one of my old Prima brick wall stamps. And then I took embossing powder. I don't really know when I got it. I got Kaleidoscope, which is transparent with the glitter in it. And then I've got white embossing powder, and I mixed them together to create my own mix. So that was the solution. So what I have now is white with a bit of glitter. And this is what I used to make the designs on the top of my houses. And they are perfect, and they are not really possible to remove, and they look clean. They really look neat. So that was after I tried the stenciling and I wasn't happy. So just to show you how it works, I just used regular embossing ink, and then I just stamped it on the top of my houses. So you can see this is going to work like that. Let's make one more brick wall. Maybe let's do a little bit more of the polka dot. And I wanted to try the numbers as well. I have my own set of, very old set of stamps with numbers. So why not trying something like numbers on one of them? I'm not sure if it's going to be pretty. Surely there will be some fun things going on. And let's see. I'm not sure if I like it because it looks messy. I made it in the wrong way, so I will clean it. And I will do again. There's a question if using the white ink for stamping would be a good idea. It would work really well. The problem is it wouldn't be as strongly visible because this is really, really strongly visible. So you would have to check if you like the effect or not. Embossing is almost like a plastic coat. So it's really easy to see. And it is rather clean look. When it comes to inking and stamping with the white ink, the effect may be not as striking. So it really all depends on what you are going for. Okay. We'll see what happens. We're not going for perfection here. It's all going to be grungy. And of course, I will repeat it on the other side. But believe me, after struggling with the stencil, this was so much easier. So the color, when it comes to white stamping, it will be not as saturated. So it has to be done to check. Surely, if it's permanent ink, it's going to work. If it's not going to be permanent, then it may be a problem later on. But just look how easy it is with the embossing. It's great resist as well. So the polka dot is so easy. Let's see the numbers. Oh, cute. Now the most problematic one. Well, I've seen better. Now, putting back the rest in the box, in the jar. And then let's melt it with the heat gun. And then we can repeat on the other side. So this was my secret technique for this project. I didn't really use the stenciling, although I was really trying. I had to use the embossing powder to get really crisp image. My accent. What country are you from? I'm originally Polish and I live in Ireland. So my accent is a Polish accent on the top of the British, Irish, American English, depends on the day. So here you have to make sure it's going to melt. This is my custom mix, so this is white with glitter. I'm sure you can find something you like, but just in case if you didn't know, you can mix your embossing powders with each other. Cute. It takes a moment to melt. And now it is permanent, look. Okay, almost ready. Now we can do the other side. So which one is your favorite? Numbers, polka dot, or brick? We've got the brick. We've got the polka dot. We've got numbers. More numbers. Okay, more of the embossing. Yeah, I have to remember what I did on the other side because, okay, this is the dots. Cool. Then we've got the brick. Ah! Then we had the numbers and the numbers. I'm going to add more of the brick to this one, I have to say. Because it's not fully nicely the way I want it. And here is the numbers. Cool. We repeat the step. Oh, too much. Yeah, the bricks are really nice, I think. Yeah, the numbers look nice on the tiny one. I do agree. Here we have combination of numbers and brick. So embossing ink, embossing powder, and then we have really nice crisp images. Yes, I don't do embossing a lot because I keep forgetting about it, but this makes sense on this project, I think, because the detailing works so well. Look, it really looks like another layer of candy on the top of that. Numbers, bricks and numbers, awesome. This one is ready. This one is almost ready. Yes, you can use embossing powder or anything, basically, as long as it's going to stick. So if you are not sure about your surface, please put a layer of matte acrylic paint, or at least any acrylic paint or gesso first. So it's going to be primed on the slippery surface, because it's a little bit like nail polish, so it may chip off if you won't prepare your surface. For example, on the metal, it may stay for some time and later on it may try to chip off. So it's better to either try, so you're sure 100% is going to stay in there, or prepare it with the gesso first. So we have these houses ready for decoration. This one needs one more side of the stamping. I will just do the bricks quickly because that's the easiest for me to do. I'm just going to go from the bottom and then kind of repeat the top. So we have all of that ready. It's easy to continue this pattern, so just chipping a little bit. Let's put the last layer on, and then we will start putting our village together. We don't need any more of the embossing powder. We can melt it. It's easy to forget about something if you don't see it. And now, really, for this, when I was trying to make these houses work, that was a game changer, because stenciling was really disappointing. They're just too small for good stenciling to keep the stencil in the good position. When you do the embossing, just remember you have to be patient, so you will see how this melts. You can see it is happening. And of course, don't hold it in your hand like I did, because you're going to get your fingers burned. Exactly, polymer clay is a very good idea. I would love to see the results. So we have our houses ready for decoration. We don't need embossing powders anymore. Now we need to start putting the things together. So to keep them straight and in an upright position, you may need to stick them first with something such as hot glue. So they're going to be in there standing. You're not going to move them a lot, too much. The most important thing is, of course, is to cover that glue later with something that is going to be also sticky. So for example, the paper paste or any kind of the paste that is going to look like ice. This is also going to be sticky, and the wooden elements are going to be like double glued because the hot glue is going to hold them and this gel or paste is going to hold them. Wood is not so bad to stick with the hot glue because it's matte finish. However, usually after some time when the hot glue is shrinking, the problem is it will also start to kind of like chip off. So especially for metal, plastic or acrylic elements, I would never recommend it as a only glue you use. You have to think about some other ways to protect it. So for example, you can start with the hot glue and then add the layer of the gel medium or any other glue that is more flexible, so you can keep your project safe. Yeah, bad burn, I can imagine. Please don't touch anything that is hot. I will quickly remove embossing powder off my fingers, and then I will show you how I decorated the houses with the contour paint, because we start need to glue them in their position, so it's going to be a little bit of drying. The paint is okay. It's just I wanted to remove the powder. So let's see. We've got 2 houses decorated with the contour paint. And I will do like 1 or 2 sides more for you to, do it quickly. Other houses I'm going to finish later. We don't have to do the same thing over and over again. It's just important to know how this all works. So the contour paints, they usually come in the tubes. Sometimes if you use products such as liquid pearls or similar product, they're going to be in the squeezy bottles. So the thing is, you have to be just sure of what you are doing and try to do it without changing your mind. Remember, perfection is overrated. We are going for the look of the natural gingerbread decoration. So the original gingerbreads are not super perfect either. They have some imperfections as well. So just accept it, okay? Don't feel like it has to be perfect. Right? And then here we go. Just need to squeeze and pull it up. If you're afraid, just simply try on something else first. And then continue. This is the way I did it. I am not great at that. My hand is shaking, but this is the way I did it. Right? This would be like the first thing I did. Then I added some details under the windows. Just like that. Of course, I had to be careful because if I wanted to add it on the other side, you can imagine that wasn't easy. So keep that in mind. If you want to add some extra details, extra layers, you can just go with that idea and go just like with the marker. It's like squeezing gently the tube. I'm not sure how exactly it would work for the perfect pearls, But with this nozzle and this kind of tube, it is not too hard. And then I will keep it standing until it will dry. It needs some time. It's not like super, super quick, but it's not too long as well. I'm not breathing. Ah! After some time, it's just good to clean the nozzle. And then you have your gingerbread house ready. So that was my process when I was making these guys. Another thing I was doing, it was adding a little bit of a dot. Like that. Very gently adding this detail as well. I'm sure if you were ever into card making, this kind of technique when people were adding dots on the elements of the card or the cutouts, that was something we did a lot in the past. So just for extra fun. It's another effect of icing on the gingerbread. Okay, so this one goes for drying. Shit. Oh no. I'm not going to show you what happened. Very bad things happened here. Anyway, I have to do it again. Later. Don't do it on both sides at the same time, apparently. I was too quick and then it fell. So here, same story. We start and we pull. Now I got it. Again. Whatever feels right for your little house. Flat may look okay. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I did that. And of course, because, yeah, things happen to me all the time. We know exactly what is the story here. Let's dry it a little bit with the heat gun. It's okay to dry it. You just try not to overheat it. Where is my poor house? Here. So I'm going to now stick this in one area of my village, and then we're going to finish that with nice houses, paste, and glitter. Of course, there's no need for me to do the whole village because it will be just repeating the same concept. But it's good to know how to put it all together nicely. This is not, this is waiting. Why me? Why me? This is always happening. No, it was not flat, it was smudged. Yeah, it takes some time to dry. By the way, when I was picking that up, I also made an oopsie on this side. But nobody will know. So, let's try to arrange the houses we have and to add whatever we can to make it work. I need to just add a little bit extra here. Of course. I have to say I really like this house. It is pretty. Yeah. And I'm really a clumsy person. I'm not precise in any way. So you can imagine. Also, embossing makes it a little bit uneven. So nice. Thank you so much for being here, Chrissy, and joining us, and I hope you will get better. We are not panicking. Everything is fine. Everybody's fine. Everything is fine. My house is drying. Also, not every house has to have full coverage with the effect. So, if we want to arrange our houses, as we mentioned before, we need our elements and a bit of hot glue to start. So we start with the big elements and then we go to the smaller ones. So let's say the bigger houses will go on the outside of the village. Let's say like that. So what I'm going to do, I will make sure I have my hot glue ready. And I'm going to put them in the position I like them to be in. And I'm not worried about the spills. because I'm going to add even more in a moment. Okay, we also need to save the space for one of the tea light holders. Here's the tea light holder. So let's say we're going to arrange this one a little bit here in the back, hoping for the best. Right, and then the other houses will go somewhere in here. Luckily nothing bad happened. Need to figure out how many I really want to add. And do I want the tea hole in the middle? I think something like this. Let's make some nice garden here and nice garden here and nice garden here. So this one and this one. So that side is going to be organized with these three, and here we have the space. Okay, so apparently for now, after this decision, this is going to be the place where the tea holder is going to go. So we have the beginning of the village ready. And now we have to arrange the other elements. So it's going to make kind of like sense. And then finally add the finishing touches. So let's say this house is going to be somewhere here. Pink ones. So in the very beginning, I used the biggest elements to just organize the space. So let's start with these big trees. And then I'm going to fill the gaps using smaller ones and smaller details. Oh, don't go anywhere. So the garden here is going to have the pink one as well. Okay, so far so good. We need some garden here. So let's make it this way. Because here the house will go, and then one more house. It's the hardest part. We have to kind of figure out how to organize our space. So let's go. This one is in here, really close. Okay, so let's say this area is nicely finished with the trees. So now I can look for the other elements to add to this part of the village. Does it make sense? Of course, it all looks rather bad because we see the glue. It's not really great, but in a moment, we can start adding like extra sweet details. We have the pine cones, we've got the flowers, and we've got some berries. So let's finish that area, adding the details nicely. So it's going to have a little bit more of a like finished look. And then we add some glitter. And then of course, on the other side, I will finish that in a similar manner. So you kind of get the idea how I combine the products together with the elements. So we're not repeating the whole thing over and over again. Okay, so first of all, we can create a little bit of more dense feeling to it, a little bit more of the flowers. And if you feel like adding some nice grungy details, this is the right moment, because you, and this is, for example, a mill, you know, or like a chain mill or whatever. So why not adding that in there and adding some machine parts? If you feel this is missing in your life and you want it to be grungy, this is the right moment. And as I mentioned, don't worry, the paste is going to hide the glue, and we are going to cover that very soon with some other elements. I'm looking for a nice color of a flower to put it in there. So the first things are large, and then we go to the smaller and smaller ones. So now the flowers. Too much of the pink. Let's add something smaller and green. So that part is kind of like playing with the details and elements. And don't touch it with your hand, with your finger, if you don't have to. So we have this cute area. And we can pretend, because it's a wooden mill, we can add some little slabs of wood in here. Let's see what we have. I've got these. And I've got more of the machine parts, which I kind of like. I'm going to stick it over that. And as far as I remember, I had something like this. So now it's like construction work. We have to find the nice things to fit in that spot. This is a natural element. We can just layer that because it looks like wood. And now I'm going to take a bit of a heavy body gel and I will just stick this little one over. And this way we kind of prepared like the sawmill area, but it's still cute. If you have this kind of spaghetti problem, like here coming from the hot glue, you can always melt it with the heat gun. Okay, so now I will turn it around and I will check what else I can fit in that area. Maybe it would be nice to add a little bit of these candy sticks and a bit of these guys as well. And heavy body gel, it's going to stick it nicely. So the berries. Now it's kind of like putting it all together and filling the empty gaps and hiding the parts you are not very proud of. So maybe a little bit more of a bling. I had really small gear somewhere in here, really, really tiny. I don't see it. Well, I found another one. Oh, this is a keyboard. No. The question was why I stick some of the elements with the heavy body gel and some with the hot glue. So whatever is supposed to stay in place, and then I'm going to surround it by the other paste. I just use the glue to keep it in place, the hot glue. And heavy body gel I can touch easily. And honestly, if I could, I would probably use everything for heavy body gel. I will use heavy body gel on everything. But waiting for the houses to dry, it will take me a long time. So now, because I'm going to put the paste there anyway, it's going to be like a solution, temporary solution. So this is going to be the only reason. So when I don't have to worry about touching it and working quickly, I can use the heavy body gel. So this is the area I almost finished. Let's add some extra details in here. Like sticking this with the heavy body gel will take me a long time, but with the hot glue it will be just a moment and then I can fix it. I'm not sure if that makes sense. This is like for hot glue is for quick gluing. Oh, that would be the best solution to name it this way. Okay, let's cut it. Scissors. Yeah. Yeah, I think the candle is going to make a difference. That's why I put it in here. So now again, because I want this to stand quickly, I'm just going to use the hot glue. Right, so I can stand it in there. maybe on the both sides of the house. So I'm making the left side of the village, and the right one I will do later on because it will just take too long, but I'm going to repeat similar solutions. So now I'm looking for the filling spaces, something that I can use to fill the space. Oh, this is not dry. Apparently. Too big. You can use some of the pine cones though. With the pine cones, I can just go with the heavy body gel and then stick it. I also have some pieces of wood like that. So I'm going to add them under the tree in here. I usually like to put a lot of elements, so I'm kind of going with that. I will find little elements, details I can put in there. Now, I don't like this empty space, so I'm going to put another flower in that part. So let's see if this one fits. No, I have to make it smaller. And this will be easier to stick with the hot glue because it, oh shit, sorry. I just made some mess on the top of the house, which makes sure I have to put the snow in there. Okay, so something more in here. And then something on the other side to hide the ugly part of a flower. So for example, another tree or some pine cone. I have spots here, so it's just basically looking for the elements to stick here and there. Okay, at this point, let's say I'm happy with the left side of my project. I have rather big portion of the embellishments. I've got some elements that I really like. So now we have to decorate it with the snow and to add the last elements. So like glitter. I would of course do everything if I had more time, but it will be just watching me repeating, tucking the elements in. So I was quiet for a moment, but just to give you an idea how it works. I put the big elements first, trying to arrange them, and I leave some gaps. Then I put the biggest trees, and then I add the smaller one, and then I keep looking for details that I can tuck in to create really dense and really packed, detailed look. So now if I look at it and I see something that, maybe I would like to add a little bit extra, I can always take a small thing such as pearl or one of these berries, and I can always stick it in there. And then I will dry it a tiny bit with the heat gun, so my gel medium is going to stick. And then we're going to create the snow effect on the top. Okay, so I hope you can see how this village is going to grow on the other side. All right. Of course, you can change the color of the candle holder, but it goes quite nicely with the contour paint. So I think it's going to work nice. A little bit of drying of the heavy body gel, and let me know if you have any questions here. Yeah, the colors are taken straight from the inspiration mood board. Just to remind you the colors we are working with. This is our inspiration. This is our result so far. So the gel medium is going to dry enough to hold the elements in place easily. I'm trying not to overheat it because the hot glue, on the other hand, may not be too happy. And I'm blowing from different directions. Now we are going to go for something to add the snow effect. Especially in the part when you can see the hot glue, this is going to be important. I know. I don't want to melt the trees or burn the trees. So now, there are many options for making the snow. Any kind of fluffy paste is going to work. The one I have today is the paper paste. And I will try to use the brush and the palette knife that is rather long to put it in the right position in between the embellishments. So we're going to use this paste that really is like whipped cream to create the illusion of the snow. So first of all, we need to go wherever deeper we want to go and have to be rather careful. So just bit by bit, you can create the illusion there are snow piles in this village. And this is also going to stick your elements in place as well. So if you have some imperfections or you feel like, yeah, I don't really like how it works because, you know, the hot glue, this is also going to hold it in place nicely. So instead of putting more of the heavy body gel, I'm just putting quite generous portions of this wherever I used my hot glue. Także jeszcze wytłumaczę, ponieważ używałam tego kleju na gorąco, ja mu totalnie nie ufam. To właśnie ta pasta, którą teraz nakładam tak na bogato, ona przytrzyma to, co by ewentualnie hot glue chciał puścić. So I'm tucking that in all the places where the hot glue was, also creating the impression this is snow. So not just to cover the hot glue, but also it's going to work as in the manner that is going to hold it in place in case if it wants to chip off. Does it make sense? You can see it really is like whipped cream. So now, wherever we have nice finished touch, this is going to be our extra solution. Of course, you can tap it a little bit on the edges so it looks like it is snowing on the elements. You can show some of them a little bit more, but this is also going to be sticky stuff later on. It looks very convincing. So keep that in mind. So I start with the bottom part and I go all the way around the trees and of course on the top of my pine cones. I tuck it in there, in the empty spots. So everywhere I want. Right? And rather generous way. So this project will dry for a long time. I will let it dry overnight. But this paste is white and it's going to dry white. So wherever I want to, I can also create a bit of a white texture. Just tapping and creating the effect like, yay, the snow is here. Carefully, carefully. And again, generous portion in here. So it's going to hold the house in place just in case if something happens. So I'm not really into trusting because hot glue is not really to be trusted. It's better to secure it. And usually I use the heavy body gel, but not in the winter project. The winter project may be absolutely all done with the modeling paste or with the paper effect paste, or also we have something which is called snow effect paste that works really nicely. But paper effect paste is super fluffy. So as you can see, it's going to dry in the warm space for some time. Now, once I'm happy with the bottom part, now I'm adding the color, the paste on the trees, especially on the ones that are a little bit too clean, to create more of the snow effect on the top of the pine trees, on the top of the effects here. Of course, around the tea light holder as well. We want to create the texture here. So touching that. I will go all the way around, of course. And now, finally, on the roofs of the houses. I'm not fully happy in here. I need a little bit more. Yeah. So, let's put it on the tops of the candy cane. And then finally on the roofs of the houses. just like icing on the cake. So if you have some imperfections, this is the right moment to hide them. If there will be any things you don't like on your little house or on my sawmill or on the, I don't know, church or whatever the building is, town hall, I don't know, village hall. You can tell I'm so focused. I'm not looking at the chat right now. But this paste is going to dry white and stay white after drying. So it's kind of a nice solution for pretending the snow is there. Nice and fluffy snow. But this is not finished yet. It's almost finished. Of course, half of the village is not done, but I'm sure you can use your imagination. We're almost there. But we need a bit of sparkle in this snow as well. So we're going to put some glitter. Just getting rid of the silly stuff like the snow going up. We don't want the snow to go up. We want the snow to go down. Well, not too bad. It's very, very sweet. Now, imagine this part of the village is happening in a similar manner. And now, if you like the chunky glitter, you can sprinkle the chunky glitter on the top. It's going to be very much in holographic, very nice. If you like more delicate glitter, you can just do the I have leftovers of the fine glitter. But to be honest, it's so much into like being over the top that a bit of a chunky glitter is not going to harm anyone. So we're going to sprinkle that directly. It's going to stick to the snow a bit. Then I have the one that is more like natural ice. So this one I don't have to be so careful with. And then once I'm done with the big glitters, I'm going to add a little bit of the fine one as well. Oh, come on. This one doesn't want to go quickly. So just bit by bit, whatever makes you happy. As long as it's white or holographic, it's going to be fine. Yeah, that's basically it. Let me tap off the excess. Let me change the camera angle a little bit. Again, my big mess here. And then here we go. Kocur, możesz przynieść jednego tea lighta i zapalniczkę. We can also make the check how the tea light is going to fit and look in here. But this is basically the whole process. So now I need to add more of the houses, more of the trees, finish that with some oversized flowers, some little details such as gears, maybe some pearls. And then finally add the effect. So it's going to be the same thing happening on the other side. Now we can check with the candle. I say this is very cute. Oh my God, sorry, the blind dog stepped onto the tripod. So just to give you a quick recap on what was used for the project. Here we go. First of all, we used the colors of the liquid acrylics from the Precious set. I can't see the one that is pink. Here. To paint the houses. That was our first step, right? Then we were decorating the houses using the contour paint and embossing powder. Just to remind you what was going on in this big mess. So embossing powder. Using the stamps. This is how we create the effects on the houses. I still have these houses waiting to be put into my composition. For the white color, we use the Impasto Snow White paint. It could be also white gesso, but Snow White is more saturated. Let's look for the Snow White paint. Right. Then, for sticking the elements down, for the big elements, I was using the hot glue. And for smaller embellishments and putting that all in place, I was using my heavy body gel. Because in general, I don't trust the hot glue that much. When it comes to painting the Christmas trees, I was using the sprays made with the same liquid acrylic set. So it was a bit easier. And then finally, for final decoration, we used the paper texture paste from Art Extravagance line. And we sprinkled the glitter on the top. So now it's going to stick to the paste once everything is dry. I will let it dry naturally, of course. And then I still need to build the second part of a village. So I will need to put more of the houses in here. And to finish that in a nice way. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to put 2 more houses and add tiny bit more of the effect. So it's going to be nice and full, just like on the other side. So this way we're going to have the village finished. Another advice, what may be useful, if you want more like an ice effect, you can look at the crushed ice effect paste. This is transparent gel with glitter inside and some delicate glass beads. So I never know, maybe I'm going to add some in some parts as well. Snow effect paste, which is also textured. Or if you like to add more of the pink, Beauty Phoenix effect paste is going to work really nicely here. I didn't feel like I need more pink, but that will also add beautiful glittery. effects, as well as unicorn effect paste if you would wanted more of that. I feel like I did my best making the cute project. I need a gold star or something. I really tried. I really worked with this mood board. I really wanted to make it super cute gingerbread. So I hope you can see how hard I worked on this. I'm just going to show you that in a different angle, and I'm here for the next couple of moments to answer any questions you may have. I think the most confusing part was when I was using the hot glue and then I was using the heavy body gel. Why? But to be honest, the whole thing comes together once I put the paste in. Because once the paste is in, it kind of makes sense why the hot glue was just a temporary solution. In reality, I try to avoid using hot glue until I really have to put something in place. Like imagine sticking these guys, these straws, and waiting for the heavy body gel to dry. I would have to wait good 20 minutes until I could do some things around it. With the hot glue, it was quick placing it in the position. And then I know the glitter paste, the paper paste with glitter is going to hold it in place anywhere. It is very pink. But the color palette was, come on guys. I can see pink and pink orange and green blue. Uh, I can kind of see I could put more of the gold in here. Kind of white makes it better though. I could do more of the gold details. I'm going to have gold details on more of the houses though as well. Not all of them, but you know. And that green trees together with the pink trees together with the white trees, that they make sense. It's really candy. It's like a candy look. So gingerbread houses covered in icing. And I use these kind of like pebbles to stick them on the top so they look like more of the candy. But I have some gears. I have some gears. Yes, Village of the Sugar Plum Fairy. So the gears are kind of like, excuse, this is a sawmill, right? So they are cutting the wood in there. They make wooden planks. And I think it will look very nice as a Halloween village as well. I'm planning to put some gears somewhere as well. But I think the idea is nice. And I can see the potential in this kind of project. I think I would like to make something much more simple and rusty, like the ocean-inspired, the driftwood-inspired project with the houses as well in the close future. But I have to say, this amount of sugar is a bit overpowering for me. Although I was fighting, give me that credit. I did my best. And I think with the snow and all these details, it is like quite okay. A Halloween village with different colors, and the little ghost who looks amazing, and the jack-o'-lantern instead of the candle. Well, Sam, thank you. You know it was not easy. You know my dark soul, it was not easy. Just look at me and look at this. But I promised I'm going to make a project with every mood board that was done. So every month we have a mood board. So November, December, January, February. And this is like the most appropriate take on this precious set, I think. I am going to add some tiny bit of grunginess in other part of the village as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or I'm going to give it to my friend as a gift. But, you know, matches my hair. Yeah, I guess this turquoise. But I hope I gave you the idea. The point was to show you how you can use the product that is typically mixed media product to create something which is your home decor. So you could see paper paste is not just for texture. It does very good snow. It is really great snow. Liquid acrylic paints, again, good for painting the wood. Does it mean your black hair will be pink? No, no, my hair will never get pink. No, it will be very bad color choice for me. So you could get, and hey, come on, dogs, stop touching the tripod. So we've got the ideas for the liquid acrylics. They really work nicely on wood. You could see when I was making the color transitions, it really worked lovely, and then you could see the effect. Then we did a surprising technique. We did the embossing, which I didn't really do for a long time, but you have to say this embossing on the houses makes sense. Really, it does. And then, you know, a bit of contouring, you know, to get this gingerbread vibe. It is an inspiration to use what you have. And really, if you have to spend money on the bottle brush Christmas trees, get the neutral colors. And then you have all the possible colors available. Just spray them with the paints and you have really nice color effects. Like this is the one we sprayed with the malachite spray, and it looks just perfect. So giving you some ideas, and this is a great excuse, I guess. I think I'm done with the sugar and sweetness in my projects for some time. However, with my patrons next weekend, we're going to alter a tin, like it's a tin, but it's a car, and some of these trees are going to be attached, but this car is going to be rusty. Whew. So beware. Yeah, the idea for the driftwood house, I think once I will find a nice piece of wood, I think I have like a plank that will be great. These houses, they may work really nicely together with, like, you know, the ocean vibes. So I guess it's going to happen. And, you know, simple ideas. It's not mind-blowing technique set, but ideas how to use your product to get the result which are far away from grungy, and it works really well. So I hope that was fun watching me struggle, especially with the contour paint. But I can say really this I probably am going to use more in some projects to get some cool freehand effects as well. I think rusty and pink would work. But I also think the ocean colors and the rusty that's going to work. You know how beautiful the boats and crab cages are when they are a little bit tired and worn out with the rust on the top. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like to send this inspirational video to some of your friends, don't be shy, because of course the photos of that are going to show up once I will finish the other part of the village. I need some time to do that. And this is a video open for everybody who may want to enjoy that. That is one of the really fun things to do. Share the good stuff with your friends. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night. I will let it dry now so I can work around it easily. And then I will build the rest of the village tomorrow or on Tuesday. So we can have a little bit of an extra. This is probably maximum of the sweetness I can make in one sitting. Please, give me the credit for how hard I tried to make this sweet project. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that was funny. And I hope that was informative as well, because it is a good combination of the products to work, to be honest. So let's try that. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me. I will enjoy my second part of the project immensely, I'm sure. And with my patrons, we see each other next weekend, next Saturday. Of course, I'm going to post the information for you. If you are watching and you're wondering what is Patreon, check out the link in the description of the video, and you can join us for live stream classes and video classes that happen every month for my patrons, and they are always fun and always full of techniques. And that is something that you can join anytime and opt out anytime. A lot of people watching now, they're my patrons, and of course they are always having the special projects made just for them, and you have the access to the library of all of the projects done in the past. So the serious amount of the videos and live streams happens on Artball tier, which is €10 per month, and this is probably as much as a piece of cake and small coffee. So maybe this is a good investment in your mixed media experience. And patrons always have some fun things to do with me, and that happens next Saturday. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you didn't subscribe to this channel yet, please subscribe and ring a bell, because it's going to give you updates when we do some of the videos or the live streams happenings. So if you feel inspired by the precious set of the liquid acrylics, don't forget to show us your project and tag us on Instagram, on Facebook, with the hashtag Finnabair Studio or Finnabair, and we are going to see it. So that would be absolutely great, because this set is perfect for the sweet and cute Christmas project with a twist. Full of candy cane and gingerbread and icing, as you can see. So thank you so much. And I see you next week, my patrons, and check my social media. We are going to be there with more inspirations for you. My design team members, they're going to deliver more of the precious set inspiration this month for you. And in January, I'm inviting you all for the live stream inspired by the Juicy set. So raspberry, periwinkle, and a lime green. It's something on the other side of the scale. So I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but it's going to be epic for sure, just as this gingerbread village is epic in a way. So thank you. Have a great night. Have a great rest of the day. And check our social media. Join us. Check us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. And get your fingers dirty with us a little bit more. Bye, and thank you.